Alright, hello. Today we're gonna take a look at the new Galvanized Melee modes. So there are some stuff about pets that I haven't taken a look at yet. There are some stuff about Nova that I have taken a look at yet. Those are coming in a different video. But the next highlight for me on this update is definitely the Melee Galvanized modes. So there are three of them. I'm gonna explain them to you as quickly as possible, show you examples of how to use them, and show them or like what they pretty much replaced on some of our builds, and also explain what builds are really powerful because of these galvanized mods, what has changed, etc. So let's start with arguably the weakest one, which is Galvanized Steel. This is still absolutely amazing. It gives us 100% critical chance, 110%, sorry, critical chance on our melee weapons, and every time you get a kill, you get 30% critical damage, which stacks up to 4 times. At the start, I thought this was extra crit chance, but it's in fact not. It's extra critical damage, which I was really happy to see. And why is that? Basically, let's go to the Broken War, actually. So in the Broken War, right? Normally, a build before Jade Shadows, let's say, that would focus around Viral Slash, would look something like this. Classic Viral Slash build for your heavily slash-based weapon. Maybe with a bit less viral, maybe like in my case, because this one has slash, Vicious Roast would be like, I don't know, rank 0, like this, bit better. But this would be kind of the setup that you would run before Jade Shadows on an E-spam weapon. You can still run something like this, it's just a tiny bit different because the Elementalist mods are in. I will also show that, so don't worry. But the thing we see here, and the thing that changes, is Gladiator Might. So on any E-spam weapon that you may use, Gladiator Might is an inferior version of Galvanized Steel. This mod is pretty much dead. It's not 100% dead, it still has some uses, but they are so few and far between that I can freely call this mod dead right now. I don't know if you can somehow make it apply from the melee weapons of your sentinels like it used to. I don't think so because it got fixed a while ago. But I mean, I'll just say it. It's dead. 60% critical damage, 120% critical damage, 10% melee combo chance per combo multiplier if you use Gladiator Vice 20. Even with Gladiator Vice, you would still need to be above 6x combo multiplier to get more crit chance than Galvanized Steel. And if you use it alone, which most of the builds nowadays do because they don't have space, and Quickening is a better version of Gladiator Vice, then simply you don't get the same amount of crit chance unless you're on a times 12 crit multiplier. So yeah, any type of melee weapon that you want to E-spam and you're using Gladiator Might on an E-spam, Galvanized Steel, just the better version. Plus, if you are using something like Tenokai, this will actually give you a times 2 for heavy attacks, while Blood Rush doesn't. Very important info to know this. Blood Rush does not give a times 2 to heavy attacks like the normal crit chance modes do for melee weapons. It's not a universal thing. So, that's for Galvanized Steel. The next one we're going to see is Galvanized Elementalist. So, this one, yeah, can be used on something like the previous build. What it does is it gives us 80% status damage instead of the 90% that you normally get from the Melee Elementalist mode. But when you get a melee kill, you get an extra status chance, 30% status chance for 20 seconds, which also max out at 4 kills, which gives you 120% status chance. Now, this is pretty big for a bunch of reasons. So, let's go on my bow prime, let's say. So I have this bow prime right here. It is a melee influence focused bow prime with shattering impact, so I can armor strip. Now this was as well before Jade Shadows, so shattering impact should 100% be swapped out for melee elementalist. I haven't touched this weapon since the last time I used it, which was quite a while ago. So yeah, what changes here? So you see a gas electric melee influence setup. This is a classic setup that I made a video about a setup like this with a Zero a while back that was doing a lot of KPM, and it's generally a very staple now, especially after Jade Shadows and all the gas buffs, because, you know, the enemy armor is way too low for electricity and gas to not deal damage to it. They just absolutely one-shot it, which in turn gives you higher KPM. Now, this obviously, Melee Elementalist, absolutely easily replaceable with Galvanized Elementalist, getting more status chance on your melee weapons to get more procs from whatever you're dealing. Insanity. Absolute insanity. And best part about it, Gladiator Might here. What did we say before? Boom. So a build like this gives you more critical damage, more status chance, and almost lost nothing. So melee influence builds, even though this build obviously not the best, should have way more electricity than gas, you realize that these two just completely overbuffed melee influence, and in my opinion, it might just simply be too strong. So if we see people start using melee influence more often, which they probably should if they want to get the most out of their weapons, we will see a melee influence nerf. It's bound to happen. And I'm calling it right now because it's simply too strong. Now with these galvanized mods, before it had some weird scaling. After level 500, 1000, it would stop killing as fast, so your KPM would go down and down and down, and other arcanes would start actually benefiting you more because you couldn't just go infinite with melee influence, except you had some kind of armor strip. Now with these, you are pretty much good to go. You can just build for something like armor strip. You can go nourish to get viral damage and then go gas electricity, with main damage being electricity, and seeing people get a million electric procs. There is just so much damage here, it's insane. So yeah, melee influence setups, love this. And now, before I go to the last one, actually no, let's go to the last one now, and then I will explain the rest of the mods as we go to the last one. The last mod, Galvanized Reflex. For me, this is the strongest Galvanized mod, for sure. Even though the other two mods are really good for melee influence and they buffed it a lot, this mod is just OP. So, the only mod that we have that gives initial combo in the entire game is Corrupt Charge, which gives 30. 30 initial combo takes us to a 2x combo multiplier, 2 times. This one gives us 20 initial combo that stacks up to 4 times. 80 initial combo, or 81, because it will be 81 since you hit people. It's 5 times combo multiplier. If you are aware of how the combo multiplier works for anything that is a heavy attack weapon, you soon realize that this is straight up broken. This replaces Corrupt Charge on any heavy attack build you have. Do you have something like the Tenet Livia, the Hate, the Glaive, the Ceramic Dagger, you name it, anything, this absolutely fucking slaps. And also, you can think of it like this. Think of the combination of this mod plus the secondary arcane that gives you crit chance and crit damage depending on your combo counter. You have so many things stacking with each other that you don't need to use melee crescendo anymore. You have enough initial combo to not use melee crescendo anymore on your glaives, on your heavy attack weapons, because simply you most of the time weren't even using the times 12 because it regens slowly. So you would use a times 6, at most a times 7. This gives you a times 5. So now with a times 5, you can completely replace your melee crescendo mode for something else. You can go electricity and go influence. You can go exposure for more damage. You can go vortex and magnetic. You have way more options now for glaive weapons. And the best part about it is now that Galvanized Elementalist is in, if you have a weapon, like I have the Livia here or the Glaive Prime, for example, and let's say these weapons deal in a slash, which they do for now. Because of Galvanized Elementalist, as long as your weapon has enough base status chance like the Livia does here, you can mod it for another damage over time, and it will proc every single time you heavy attack, as well as your slash. So now you have a double dot on the heavy attack, affected by afflictions, and having a ×5 combo instead of a ×2 before the patch. This mod is busted. So, let's show some examples in the simulacrum of this. And yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? It really is just an absolute insanity what D has done with these mods. And as I said, we will 100% see more melee influence. Melee influence because of melee of Galvanized Elementalist. It's gonna be way spicier. So, let's start with my favorite melee weapon, the Techo Prime. We're gonna do a test where we see the damages with Gladiator Might, and then we're gonna put Galvanized Steel. This is a normal build that I should probably use Animosity to see more damage. Eximus is fine. So we're gonna just focus on the damage numbers as much as possible. I know it's not the easiest thing in the world. We see 2.2 million. 2.5 million. So highest 2.5 million, not bad, not bad. Now replace Gladiator Might with Galvanized Steel. Because it's crit damage, there is gonna be a pretty big difference. I already know it, but... So now we have the kills. $2.8 million. 2.2 million. 2.6 million. They died. It's generally faster time to kill, higher damage numbers. It's just, yeah. I mean, it's double the crit damage from what you normally get from Gladiator Might. 4.5 million on that guy. 13 million. Like, you name it. There is just a lot of difference on how much this deals because of Galvanized Steel. So, any E-spam weapon you have, Galvanized Steel, absolute bonkers. Up next, let's take a look at a melee influence setup, which right now let's just use the Bow Prime. I'll try to fix it as much as possible, though the formatting is really bad, as you can see, so not sure how I can fix it more than what I'm doing right now, but just do this. Hope for the best. Alright, gas, electric. Could use more electric, but we'll take what we can. Let's take what we can. It's fine. Alright, this is fine. So, melee influence, Galvanized Elementalist, Galvanized Steel, both of them here. I don't think there's any point of me showing it without it. We'll just see way less procs on the enemies without them. So we see 230k damage. If we saw the enemies when we were hitting them, we would see lots and lots of status procs, which is what this is all about. So you see 42 electric procs, 10 stacks of gas, and it just gets crazier and crazier the more you hit them. So this because of the Elementalist mod here, you get just way more procs from your electric if you build for electric on melee influence, so it's why it's gonna become very strong. So if we see them now, they have like 18. It's still good in terms of damage, obviously, but 18 versus 40, it's a pretty big difference, let's be honest. Like, they have 14. We really have a massive, massive difference in damage when it comes to melee influence and status-based weapons. So, yeah. Because of this, this might get nerfed. I honestly kind of hope it does, because it is way too overtuned, and we will see people running around with it only. And now the best part, Galvanized Reflex. So first of all, we're gonna take a look at the Zoris. So the Zoris build, normally it would be this, and then you would just put a Corrupt Charge. Now Meridian mod gives certain initial combo, which was perfect, because this plus this would take you up to a very nice 43 initial combo. And 43 initial combo meant that you could actually do a ×3. But now, this is a ×5 on its own, without a even mode. You don't even need the initial combo on your even mode anymore. We could get a better even mode by getting straight up Acricron, crit chance, crit damage. Now, let's just see what it does. So first kills will not be as good, because it's not stacked. So obviously we need 2 shots. Still decent damage, decent procs. Now, with the stacks in, well, that kinda happens. But you may say, oh my god, you have Ardaza Kavat buff for the crits. Well, I didn't have melee influence though. I'll have melee influence. Melee influence makes a big deal, not gonna lie. Because, can I? Thanks. Yeah, melee influence makes kind of a big deal. Regardless, you see that it does get very funny when you hit ×5. There are other glaives that we can show, of course. I could show the Serata, I could show the Glaive Prime. I've tried all of these. All of them are pretty busted. Wait, the Raven is minus attack speed. Hold up. Alright, so the first skill is down. Obviously, before it's stacked, this will not be that good. Now that it's stacked, well, there is quite a bit of initial damage, and then the Toxin proc as well is not bad. The initial damage is just, yeah, a lot. It's quite a bit. Same thing goes for the Glaive Prime, but, you know, for something like the Glaive Prime, we can do the thing that we talked about before. Haven't experimented with it much, but you can imagine that we could do something like this, and then fit this somewhere, maybe instead of Prime Pressure Point. And that could be very, very funny. So yeah. Last one, before we're done. I also tried the Chlorophyll, it's really good. Titron. This and Magistar are very, very popular right now, and they only got mega buffed by this happening, so yeah. This is normal before anything. Not bad. Now we have the stacks. Oh boy. Yeah. It is kind of insane. Like, you can imagine how this could go hard on something like Mirage. Something like Siren. Something, I don't know. It's just... yeah, the weapons that utilize the heavy attack deal so much damage. And if you want to physically see the big difference that this makes compared to something like Corrupt Charge, D10 at Livia is the best weapon, showcase that, which will be our last weapon. So, before any type of upgrades, rank 0... Actually, no, wait. Let's do normal ones, because we can benefit from afflictions on normal enemies. I already did this test, but, you know, I just think it's funny. So, This guy's armor strip, whatever. This guy isn't, so... Okay, this guy isn't. He kinda dies instantly. 1.1 million. Dies instantly. This... They die from the toxin proc, before the slash proc can even proc. Because it says 277k. So yeah, you can see that even before we can even proc afflictions or anything, the normal heavy attack, which is this one, 14 million slash proc. Holy fuck. It just kills them. It just kills them before you can even try. With Corrupt Charge, it doesn't. You simply just, like, hit them. And then you see the bleed. Which is a lot. It's 3.9 million, by the way. We're not talking about a small bleed here. 5.7 million. So, you can imagine how much larger the bleed will be on something that, you know, yeah. So yeah, thank you for attending the Yap session of how the new Galvanized Melamods work. Comment down below if you want to see Melee Influence nerfed. Discord, Twitch links in the description. I'll see you on the next video.